Bwahahahaha. My name is Amy too, and welcome back to Synth. Continuing right where we left off. Moon found a clown phone in the grass. A young man named Jason found a clown phone at the park. And it was not the first time someone had found a phone with a red nose. It's literally a clown phone. We have found clowns before, and that is where the name of the clown came from. I would suppose so, a park official said to a radio station. He found something we thought was funny, but we didn't know it was a clown. We've had people in here laughing at clowns before. We called the police. The officer said, "You're safe. This is a clown." And he said it was not funny. He thought it was a prank phone. I mean, it kinda sounds like it is. When the clown phone landed in a manhole, it didn't sink into the hole so quickly as to cause it to stop. What? It was stuck in there so long, people had to be called in to lift it out. We're not really sure who was doing it, the park officials said. We're hoping it was a little kid. They tried to put it back, but were unsuccessful. The clown phone was not the only thing found this weekend at the park. There were other items, too. A bottle with an unknown liquid. I'd eye that with suspicion. A piece of wood that had been covered with blood. Okay, eyeing the bottle even more suspiciously. And the remains of a woman. Well then, that's something. We haven't had any incidents like that at the park, the park's spokesman said. It was a little crazy, a little eerie. No kidding. Literal murder. The kids thought it was a car crash or something. Moon found a piece of uranium threw a piece of uranium into the atmosphere, causing the entire planet to be bombarded and incinerated. I'm pretty sure that wouldn't happen, but you never know. Destroying its surface, flora, animals, humans, and all. The planet was reduced to a scorching desert of rock. Wow, that was very effective. And the radiation was lethal and fatal to humans and to all creatures on this Earth. Earth was bombarded by a beam of radiation from Uranus. It literally interpreted this as being an attack from Uranus because it's whatever, causing it to explode and destroy all life on the planet. The resulting crater was so small that it was almost invisible. You wouldn't expect that from what it caused. The resulting planet was also very dark and had a temperature of 1,000 degrees below zero. I'm not sure if that's possible. In fact, I'm pretty sure that isn't. And a pressure of 3 billion atmospheres. That's, like black hole levels of pressure. All life was killed, except for the creatures on the moon. You mean there are creatures on the moon? First time hearing of it. Maybe this is way in the future. The creatures in the atmosphere, the human people within that atmosphere, the radiation from Earth was so strong that it caused the entire planet to burn up and destroyed as a result of its radiation. As well as all life on Earth, only humans survived. You implied that they didn't. This has happened again every time a moon has exploded. You mean this has happened before? Moon threw a piece of uranium into space on June 8th, 1945, but the experiment's results weren't published for over 40 years. That's pretty impressive. It would be like the Wright brothers taking a piece of cardboard and saying, "We're going to fly it." What sense does this make? And they didn't publish it, said David Stevenson, an engineer at the Department of Energy's Brookhaven National Laboratory. We haven't had an opportunity to publish results in the last 40 years. Oh, is that why you didn't publish this? Stevenson and his team have used a different technique to study... ... Big Boy and Buddy landed on a green planet. The first thing they saw was Buddy's big head sticking out of an animal carcass. Well then, that's something else. The second thing they saw was Buddy's big body lying in a heap next to the carcass. That's weird. That's a large number of little buddies ran away from him in terror. The green planet had a planet-wide heat that caused vegetation to grow to almost the height of Buddy. Buddy and Buddy's parents were born on Earth. Okay, so how tall is Buddy in this universe? This world was a huge planet-controlled mess. They were in the middle of an enormous planet-controlled mess. It was an odd, wonderful, alien, and bizarre planet. Buddy had a small, very small body compared to that of Buddy's on Earth. Okay, so that tells me that the vegetation is not very impressive. His body resembled a small black roundish ball, the size of a fist or a piece of paper. Yeah, that makes it seem like the kind of vegetation you have in the Arctic. Very small, like moss and whatnot. He wore a green shirt, green shorts, and had green hair. Budgie was a very small, very tiny little boy. Yeah, I guess we get the picture now, although I don't understand the roundish ball part. Is he overweight? Where does that come from? Big Boy and Buddy landed on a green planet with a small planet, which was not a planet. It was actually a planet called Bucky and Buddy. So it is a planet. The green planet was named Bucky and Buddy, and this planet was very, very small. It had no gravity except that Buddy would fly around in a straight line, and Bucky could move in a zigzag line. The planet had one moon called Bucky and Buddy. You call them both the same thing? Buddy was a little girl. That's an unfortunate name for a girl. And had red hair and green eyes. And a big brother named Buddy. You're both named the same thing. Buddy would fly around the green planet and would land on the red and green planets and go to sleep. You just sleep on other planets? Bundy would fly around the blue planet, and Buddy would have a red hair. A singular red hair? Okay. Big ears and brown eyes, and would fly around in a zigzag line. Buddy would wake up in a little hole on the blue planet called Blue Bucket. Buddy would stay there until next sunrise, which could be any time, depending on the planet. The sun would rise in a red planet. So if you're waiting for a sunrise, some planets, that takes like a year or something. Big Boy Buddy landed on a green planet, but before they could get into the water, they were attacked by a group of space pirates. The two young men got back on their feet and tried to fight their way out of the room, only to end up being captured. How unfortunate. Buddy was put in the dungeon and was forced to do his chores. Forced to do them chores. In his cell, he saw an alien who told him that they need the space pirates for something called the Warrior's Way, which had the mission of destroying any space pirates that had escaped from the prison before they could destroy Buddy. Buddy was then taken to a room with the others that were being held. There were all kinds of weapons that Buddy was to do their chores. What does that mean? Do your washing, eat your breakfast, take your pills, and get your rest, and you will be a warrior. Buddy, however, did not want to be a warrior. He told the space pirate, who replied that Buddy needed the warrior's way, and to help the space pirates find out what the warrior's way was. Oh, you don't even know. Buddy was taken to another room that had another space pirate who told him that he had come to make him a warrior. The space pirate told Buddy what happened to his family, but the space pirate told him that they had to leave Buddy and the others to him to get out of the prison before the prison gets destroyed. The space pirate told Buddy to tell him where they are, and if he was not a warrior, he would die. And if he was a warrior, he would be in the prison. Such option. And he would be the warrior. But he told the space pirate that he would not tell him anything. But the space pirate said that he would give him some pills and a little money. Persuasion. But he then started to do his chores in a room that was covered with a big sheet while he had a little bit of money. Okay then. My scroll wheel's doing weird things. Big Boy and Buddy landed on a green planet. The green planet was an actual planet with life. Excuse me, my camera's in the way. It was very similar to Earth, but much smaller. Buddy landed on the green planet. Buddy was very unhappy about it, and Buddy got the power of the green planet as Buddy's new energy. It became his new form. He was very unhappy about this and wanted to be an evil and a bad guy for his entire life. An evil and a bad guy. Okay. That's a goal. Buddy started out wanting to be the bad guy. It took Buddy until he had become unevel, okay? And then his form was the evil guy. And the only thing that he cared about was that. Buddy wanted to be evil. Then he had a friend called the Green Goblin, who was a good guy who was on his side. That's unusual for a goblin to be on the good side. Wait a minute. He's a good guy that's on his side, but his side is evil. So what sense does this make? This was all before the universe was split apart. He was very happy that he had friends on his side, and so he became his new best friend. The way it says that sounds like he became his own best friend, which is very, something. The Green Goblin and Buddy became good friends. This was all before the universe was split apart. Okay, then what happened afterwards? Then he had a friend called the Green Goblin who was a good guy and was on his side. Yeah, we heard that before. This was all before the universe was split apart. He was very happy that he had friends on his side, so he became his new best friend. Now the Green Goblin was a bad guy, and they were now enemies. Is this after the universe split apart? However, they were good friends, and the Green Goblin became the evil guy. The two hated each other and fought. Contradictions. Out the yin and yang. So one day the Green Goblin and the Green Martian came to their universe, and they went through a portal in the ground. And when they were on Earth, they got their clothes stolen because they were too green and too green and too green and too green. That's an interesting reason to have your clothes stolen. The Green Goblin had to go back to the universe and find a new costume. In this universe, it was the Green Martian. They both had to find a new suit, so they had to find what to wear and where to go in order to become the Green Men. It sounds like you're already Green Men. So I don't know why you're looking to become that. So in the first book, this is a series. They wore green costumes that were made of plastic. That's pretty typical. The green men did not like plastic because the green men did not like to be looked at or heard. So the green men started wearing clothes that were made from metal, and then they were called the green men. In the first book, the green men were very angry because the green Martian had stolen their outfits. In the second book, they changed their name because they did not like the name Red Men. But nobody was calling you that? So in the third book, the Red Men were the villain's new best friend, and they became their new enemy. That makes no sense how that was arranged. So the story goes until the last book. The green men had to find a way to get the red men back into their universe. They could not. So they created a new universe in which they started to fight each other, and the fight did not cease until the green men finally won and returned to their universe. The story went on until the last book, as it does, and the last chapter. They were able to find the green men. I did not like this story. Okay, voicing your opinions. Anyway, I think this is the first of the recorded one. So I'm gonna end this video here. If you like this video, please subscribe. I'm gonna do more of this, and bye.